I started writing. Because as a PR profession, you have to build up content for the social media, for the newsletters, for the company documents and everything. And apart from that, you have to write the press releases and everything.
Right.
So your grammatical errors, there's no chance that you can put that in.
Right. Hello everyone, my name is Panisha Puri. Welcome to our channel Xaphal, and in today's episode we will talk about making a career in PR sector. So if you are interested or if you want to make a career in PR sector, keep watching this video. So hi Purnima, welcome to our channel Xaphal.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
What you are currently doing?
So I have been exploring a bit throughout these years, and now I'm an aspiring PR practitioner. So my personal experience was experimenting and get to know that where my interest lies and what I'm good at.
So had you an experience with the PR that you had practical knowledge of working in a PR sector?
Yes, I have had an experience I have done an internship in PR. It was an NGO. It's Pinkish Foundation. It's a nationwide NGO. They're working for women, menstrual hygiene and education. So for them, I was doing PR internship. I had done that for 6 months. And after that, I have done a full-time job in public relations. It was a marketing and advertising company. And there I was working as a PR practitioner for my company as well as for the clients.
So in your first internship period, what was your learning? Like what you have learned about things, how to do these things, and what are your day-to-day activities may include?
Okay. So let me make this very clear that whatever we study in the college, like we are sitting in a classroom, we are hearing about a lot of things like how public relations is done, how we have to perform certain activities, how we have to make the use of certain tools that we're taught. Okay, but it is very different when you actually come to practice it in the field. So when I studied PR, it was very easy that we have to do certain activities, we have to make certain communication strategies that can help you make a goodwill of the company or make a particular strategy about the advancement of the reputation of a company. But in the field, when you step into the field, there are a lot of things that you have to handle. There are communication with the clients, with the internal employees, and the external public. And external public does not only include your clients; it also has your stakeholders and how you are investors, your partners in the company, and everyone who is related to you. So my day-to-day activities included like maintaining communication with the clients. It also comes back to your social media management. Then it comes back to your client relationship. Then business development executive, that a lot of people think it's sales, but in PR you have to maintain that good relationship with clients, which is not very easy to do. It's a task. Yes. But again, PR is not just related to building up strategies, but also executing them in a way that you have to include all the sectors of communication. It does not merely include the communication merely in your company, but with every sector in the company. According to the definition of public relations, it is said that we have to get free promotion and free highlights in the company, publicity to the company. But in reality, it's not done in that way. There are always paid promotions that we go through certain things, and that is on us how we have to plan those things, that they come out in a way that we are not doing it in a paid promotion, but it is a publicity stunt. Right. So it's a whole lot of game, and we have to take care of certain things and criteria to make it look like a publicity stunt.
So how you unfold these puzzles, like it's very difficult. You have to work on your content, talking to a client, and managing the media also. So how you manage all the things all together?
Communication is a whole part. Like if we talk about social media management, or if we talk about the content building in a company, like even if it's their newsletters or their blogs or the content for the social media or anything. Okay, so it's all a part of PR. These are all components of PR, and we have to take care of all of that. The first thing when it comes to content building is that there are some basic rules that in public relations you have to be very formal. Like in other social media or in advertising companies, they're independent to use some informal languages, but in PR we are very strict to use very formal and very appropriate language. We cannot use certain things that we can use in other components, right? So content building is a part that you will eventually learn in PR when you write press releases, and you learn to, and also the content that you're talking about, the social media management and also the newsletters and everything. Those journals of companies are a part of PR too. The tools I'm talking about in public relations, you learn about certain tools that you use, certain types of like exhibitions that companies hold certain exhibitions of the companies. Then there are journals, in-house journals and out-house journals. In-house journals are those like each college, each companies, they have their own newsletters, which are only given to the employees.
Yes.
So those are in-house journals. They are to tell the employees themselves ki they're working in a good company and what all updates are going on their companies and everything. Then outhouse journal is for the external public, your clients, your investors, your partners, and everyone. Even the government affairs or other media affairs, everything you have, those external journals are for them, newsletters that we spread. Then, other than that, there are notice bulletins. In every office, we have notice bulletins. It is very common to say that they are just bulletins, but as a PR practitioner, we know that the value of these bulletins are very much, because it is very much important to maintain a communication with the employees. If we are not maintaining a good communication with your employees or with the people who are working with you, there's no chance you can maintain a good relationship with your clients or the external public. So it all starts from the within. So these are certain tools that we use, and the one of the most important is the press conference. I think today it is not very much eminent in offline mode after the COVID, but if we talk about the media industry or for the well-set multinational companies, it is very much evident.
How you are conducting all the press conferences right now?
Uh, Press conferences, it's actually press conference take a lot of budget. When you're conducting a press conference, you have to take care of a lot of things, and it takes a whole lot of budget. So I think most of the companies that conduct press conferences are usually those are well set up, and either they have a lot of huge big news to give out. If there's a companionship in the company or you're launching something new, in that case, that is when you conduct a press conference. In that case, there are a whole lot of planning. It's exactly like a conducting event. So, but in a very professional way, you have to invite the media professionals. You have to prepare the kits because in the press conference you have to deliver a press kit to the media professionals, your spokespersons, and even the clients. You have to release it. So that also includes not only your press release, but your bio profiles, your kits, and your spokesperson's details. Then, if you're launching a product, for example, so the
Right now
details of
you're
the
doing
product.
all this online Zoom meetings, this press conference.
It's optional. You can conduct it online if you can send links, like we're doing it online mode. So we conduct those with media professionals. We join them in online mode, or if it's done in at a venue at a certain place, then we invite media professionals. For that matter, PR professionals are required to have a lot of media contacts as well.
So how you convince those journalists to cover your event or any press conference for free? How you convince them?
Firstly, most of these press conferences are not done for free. It's a bubble that needs to be broken. We do study that PR gets you free publicity, but it's not. But to a certain extent, when it's done free, it's like, because it's a win-win situation for both. We want publicity and they want stories. Okay, so for to convince those journalists, because in a day, a journalist might get 12 to 15 stories in a day. And they have to ensure which ones are worth the cover. So for that matter, before the press release is released, or before the kits are distributed, or before they're invited, we give some brief, press brief to the journalist. It's via through a email or a call or even a meet if that's possible. We tell a gist of the story. Press release completely describes the whole narrative in details, like what is the event, what is about, what are the agenda of the event and everything. But in brief, we tell about just the gist, what we are doing, why we are doing, and when we are doing. If the journalist finds it worthy, then they come. Other than that, if they're not even coming, you have to send those press releases to them through emails and everything, so that if they're not be able to come, they can at least publish your. Every newspaper, every publication, they have their set of rules. In a certain way, they publish those things. In a certain way, they frame the content. So our task is to deliver the content as with as much details as possible and in a very appropriate way. So it is very clear to them what all happened, even if they were not there. It has to give them a clear picture so that when they're reading the whole content, they're reading your press release, they can imagine what is going on there. Exactly. That's why we usually even put some quotations in the press release, that if you have seen those in newspapers when quoting, that theme of this said this.
Right.
So that's the thing, that you have to be very precise about it, and it has to be written very consciously.
Is those press releases are like written by you in your internship period or by someone else?
No. When you are working in a PR field, it is a part of your job.
Okay.
So whether you are an
write it
intern
down
or
all the content.
yes. When you're doing BGMC or if you're studying PR, it's your task as well. You get assignments to write some PR releases, in which you have to write some public press releases in different for different occasions. Like if we are launching a movie, then there's a certain way of writing that PR release, or if we are launching a product in a company, that PR release is written in a certain way, and so every occasion, every event that you're covering,
it's very important that you go to your college and study about PR before getting into a job, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think even though there are certain things that you actually learn only in the field, not through books, which is very obvious in every field that you step in, but certain things are very important that you do learn in class, because the content building, the tools, the yeah, it forms your structure in the PR. You get to know the gist of it, that how how is how PR practitioners actually do those things. When you actually practice it, of course it's something else. Then you get to know a lot of field knowledge, but before that, theoretical knowledge is very important. Although every field has its own challenges, I'm a person, I like to communicate a lot, but there are certain points when we're talking about follow-ups, right? So there are points when we have a lot of data. And then we have a lot of data. We get hundreds and 200s of contacts that we have to call, then we have to take follow-ups. And there are points when people are not picking up your call, not responding well. Sometimes people are as well rude. And at that point of time, it's your duty that you have to maintain that, patient. You have to be very patient, that no, you are representing a company. PR professionals are usually the spokesperson of the company. You are representing the company. In any way, whatever you are feeling, whatever you're going through, you cannot take it out on anyone.
So you just have to maintain a smile on your face every time with patience.
Every time. Even if I'm pissed, I just want to, just tell someone to just go away. We have to be like, no, sir, thank you, sir. Okay, sir. So it's like, there are points that we have to maintain. We have to limit ourselves to certain things. So from the very beginning, of course, everyone faces difficulty. You might feel demotivated when, when you start calling, and out of 10, only 2 to 3 people are responding.
Right.
So it's demotivating for the first 2 days. First 2, 3 days, I could make only 20 to 25 calls, and my target was 50 to 60. So there, I was lucky enough that my superiors were very supportive. They helped me throughout. They told me that it's okay and it will happen and everything. But then daily practice it. One thing is reading. I opted for reading. I started reading. With that, it helped me
What do you
work on my speaking skills. I usually read novels.
Okay.
I I love reading novels. So
Any
then I
specific
started
genre
reading.
you would like to read?
Yeah, I love spiritual books, the books that are on spirituality, then some romantic, emotional novels,
Okay.
and some self-help books. We
Okay.
are very particular about that, but I love to read those. I started writing, because as a peer profession, you have to build up content for the social media,
Right.
for the newsletters, for the company documents and everything. And apart from that, you have to write the press releases and everything.
Right.
So your grammatical errors, there's not, there's no chance that you can put that in that.
Right. True.
So there are these are certain basic things. I think it's not even only for the peer practitioner, but for everyone out there, that reading, writing, and just working on your personal communication and your soft skills, because your confidence, then your the way you're speaking and the way you're communicating with the other person. So it is very important, essential. And other than that, your managing skills.
So how you manage to stay motivated in that situation?
So the first thing was that my superiors were very supportive. I was not, when I just went to them that I could make only 20 calls today because this has happened. They were not the ones to scold me like you had a target of 60, but you didn't do it. So I think that was one thing that supported. But personally, uh, that kept me motivating was that it was a job and I was very excited for it. There are two things. If one is you're working and you want, like, when will the day end, when I'm gonna go home.
Right.
And the second is that when you reach home, you're eager to go to the office next day. And that was what happening with me when I was working in PR. Every day, every night, I was very excited to wake up and go to the office next day, and that's what kept me going.
Great.
So I just knew that in PR, so my future goals include that I want to get into PR and events and stuff, because that's what interests me most.
We have to be a jack of all trades or just master at one?
No, 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 no. I think whatever you do, you need practice. I can pursue a course for a year in content writing, but if I'm not practicing it for a year, there will be a time when I'm not being able to frame those things into a precise thing that people can relate to. For any content that you create, if you want the audience to connect with it, it needs practice.
Right.
So I think every skill that I practiced, it took me a lot of time.
Any tips would
I
you
have
like to give for our aspiring students who want to pursue their career in content writing?
in content writing. I think seeing when I was working as the PR practitioner, we had to hire some content writers, and when we released the applications for that, those applications were just resumes, but they didn't have any work samples or anything.
Okay.
Even if it's a very important piece of advice for any aspirant, if you're applying for any internship, if you're a fresher, you need to have certain work samples.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. I hope those students who are watching our show, it might be helpful for them to apply all this mantra in their life to get success. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mamas. It was great for me to join here, to be here.